Baseball.com Thursday night live stream. Get your live stream on, people. I am your host, Michael Patrick Rooney. I am joined by three of the greatest Americans, Aaron J. Fitt, Kendall J. Rogers, Stitch S. Stitch. Gentlemen, how we doing tonight?
Good runs.
Stitch, you're like Seal, right? You don't actually have a first, middle, or last name. It's just Stitch.
No. Whenever the police ask me, I just say Stitch. F.
You just say, you know who the hell I am. Get out of here.
Just say I'm at Stitchhead, man. Look it up.
Go.
We digress, but that's the greatest scene from the movie Fletch. Chevy Chase in his character. Name Fletch. Full name Fletch F. Fletch. Occupation, I'm a shepherd.
Runes, I've been covering college baseball since I was like a senior in high school, and for the first time ever, I had to pull out the peacoat jacket for a college baseball game because tomorrow in Round Rock, the high is 38 for Arkansas, Louisiana, Stanford, Indiana. The high is 38.
Unlike the Republic.
It's very unlike, but I pulled out the peacoat for a baseball game. That is going to be the first time ever I've had to do that.
Get it together, Texas.
Not looking forward to it.
How's your scarf game, KR? Yeah. How's your scarf game?
I'm not a scarf guy. I don't think that will surprise anybody on this call, but I'm willing to make an exception tomorrow. Absolutely willing to make an exception.
KR, you may appreciate this. Stitch, I need you in this outfit I'm about to describe. So Louisiana Tech LSU's on last night. Yeah. Very entertaining game. There's a gentleman that was really captured, the apple of the cameraman's eye. He had a coon hat on. He had camo overalls on, and he had a monster lipper in. I mean, just really getting after some tobacco.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Oh gosh, I need to meet him. Yes,
very. Yeah, wasn't it Joe Garagiola that was so against spit tobacco, as they called it?
Oh wow, yes, yeah, he exactly was. Loved Joe Garagiola.
Anti-spit tobacco.
To give you an idea, though, the weather in the Republic of Texas, Stitch, when you come down here next weekend, the high is 78 with the low is 65, so a little bit better.
Just in time for indoor baseball.
I know, right? You SoCal people bringing the good weather back over here.
I like it. Very good. Gentlemen, so the Thursday night live stream, this is something we want to do consistently all year. We'll get on here. We're going to do our picks for the week. Fitzy, you're in first place after week 1. Congratulations.
It's all uphill from here, guys. I'm just going to rack up wins. I'm going to pad the lead. No looking back.
Yeah, you're kind of a man on a mission. I like it. So Burt Granger, the defending champion, I hope he loses badly. No offense, Burt. Just kidding. Burt's
he did talk a lot of smack.
He did, which was very unlike Burt. He's such a wonderful person, but I appreciated it very much. So these will be thick and quick. We're going to do our picks. We'll go around the horn. Fitzy did an excellent job picking 10 series for us this week, some really tough ones, which I appreciate. And then we will announce where we'll be this weekend, and then we will adios. So let's do the first series. Fitzy, you're in first place, so I'll start with you. We'll go clockwise. East Carolina against North Carolina. It's kind of a home away series. This was a really tough one. What are you going with, Fitzy? We'll go each series around the horn.
Yeah, this is the one I probably struggled with the most. I was on the fence because I do think ECU will bounce back after that disappointing first weekend, but I also kind of think North Carolina might be for real. The first 2 games are at home, and so far my questions about the UNC pitching staff have been answered. I'm going to take the Tar Heels. I think their offense right now, one thing that is loud to me is, I know it's early and, maybe you're not facing the elite competition yet, but they look like they're firing on all cylinders offensively already. So, I'm going to ride the hot hand. Their offense is hot. I think they keep it going this weekend.
Oh, I like it. Kendall, what are you going with?
I think the biggest test for East Carolina, I thought was, today it was on Tuesday. I think when you look at just the way the weekend went against Bryant, I think they went in that game against Campbell with a little something to prove. They played really well. So even without Carson Whisenhunt this weekend, I like East Carolina.
And now, hey, let me ask you this. Carson Whisenhunt is pitching this weekend, or we don't know yet?
We don't know.
He is not in the rotation.
Right.
Ooh.
So it looks like they're going Garrett Saylor and Jake Kuchmaner and then Shadden Peavyhouse as their 1, 2, 3.
Kuchmaner.
Peavyhouse is UNC.
Peavyhouse is UNC's pitcher, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. All right, so
East Carolina has it listed in the wrong order. My bad.
So no Wisenhunt. Okay, Stitch. This I may backtrack here. I go ahead. Stitch, who are you going with here?
Yeah, well, now that I see there's mid-season trades going on between ECU and UNC.
Yeah. Come on, Malcolm Gray.
I think
is that street
legal? I think
what
gets me is East Carolina is going to be pretty hacked off and want to prove something. That's true. I also look at North Carolina only giving up 8 walks all last weekend, 3 errors. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go with them just because they play a little cleaner so far. Yeah. We'll see if that stays that way this weekend, though.
Well, I'm going to go – I have ECU, and I'm going to stick with it because you never back off your initial pick, and because Cliff Godwin wears a white watch. So there you go. That's my rationale for East Carolina, even though no Carson Wisenhunt does spook me a little bit.
I think they're going to have to get used to that.
Yes, Vance Honeycutt is the freshman I can't wait to see, though. I'm really excited to see Vance Honeycutt. He sounds awesome. So, Fitzy, ripping back around to you, Duke at Baylor.
Yeah, similar series. You know, the team that got swept at home last weekend, Baylor trying to get back after it. You've got another dangerous opponent in Duke coming in here, coming off, an okay opening weekend, went 2-1. I just think Duke's the better team. And so even though they're on the road, I'm going to take the Blue Devils.
KR?
I think Duke's the better team. But you know what happens when you corner a bear, and I think Baylor's cornered this weekend. I think we talked about Bears. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, by the way.
No,
but I think when you look at Baylor and after getting swept, I think getting swept by Maryland was a big deal because I think now they're in a situation where they need a bounce back weekend, especially at home. I think Baylor is a quality club. I think they're a regional club, and I think they find a way to get it done. But I do think Duke is overall the better team. It's just on the road in the frozen tundra of the Brazos Valley. It'll be the Bears.
Gosh dang, Kendall, that was very compelling. Stitch?
Yeah, again, we're looking at another team that's really hacked up and ready to get back out there like East Carolina we talked about a second ago and Baylor. The thing that scares me a little bit about picking for Duke is they lost the Friday night game to VMI. That was a little weird to me. I'm going to go ahead and pick Baylor because, just because I didn't pick East Carolina to make amends, but I'm going to pick Baylor to do that, to make amends this weekend. Good series, though. I think it'll probably be decided in 13 innings on Sunday.
I feel like I'm talking to multiple life coaches right now. I got one guy saying Duke is the better team. I agree with that. I got another guy saying don't corner Bears. Also agree with that.
Wouldn't recommend it.
No, not recommended. I don't like Bears in open spaced rooms either, let alone corners. I'm going Duke because I think they're the better team. And there you go. You're welcome, Baylor. Now they're going to win the series and just all betwixt by them. Yes. Fitzy, Maryland at Campbell.
Love this series. We got to teach Stitch how to use the cough button, right? Runes as a TV term, the cough button.
Yeah, there's no cough button on the live stream. Oh, the mute button. There is. Yes, there is.
This is a fun series, Maryland and Campbell. I'm actually going to open my weekend to spill the beans on the later part of this later segment of this show, Runes. I'm going to open my weekend here. Maryland at Campbell Friday night. We got a really good one. I believe it's Nick Dean from Maryland against Thomas Harrington, 2 really talented righties. Love this series. 2 teams that I believe in, but Campbell is the team that even though we have Maryland ranked right now and we don't have Campbell ranked, I think I believe more in Campbell. I think Campbell is a potential super regional team. Love the 1-2 punch with Harrington and Cade Kuehler. Love Zach Neto, of course, a shortstop, one of the best players in the country. Taking the Camels at home, statement weekend here in Bowie's Creek.
Love it. KR?
Well, nobody just rolls into Bowie's Creek and expects to win a series. I'm going to go with the Fighting Camels because, those Camels in North Carolina are tough. To be serious, though, I think when you look at this series, I look at it a little bit like Baylor and Duke. I mean, I think if you're Campbell, and again, I don't like to draw crazy conclusions this early in the season, but if Campbell loses this series after they just lost a series at home to Appalachian State, all of a sudden, you almost have to win most of your series the rest of the season. So I think there's going to be a lot of urgency from Justin Hare and company, and certainly with Thomas Harrington and Neto and guys like that. They're more than talented enough to win this series. I like Campbell. I think Campbell's going to play a little urgency.
Stitch.
All right. I famously went on a radio show last week, and they said, "What do you think about this Maryland team going into Baylor?" I said,
"Yeah,
I don't know anything about Maryland. I got to admit something right now. I really hadn't done my studying up on them yet. So
I appreciate your honesty.
Subject matter expert.
It is true. There's certain teams in the preseason you just don't quite get around to. But when I saw that they went into Baylor and beat the Baptists 3 straight times, my feeling is they can beat a bunch of camels 3 straight times. Sorry, Coach Hare, don't be hacked at us. Roll humps is still the greatest hashtag. I'm going to go with Maryland, though.
Stitch, but besides your honesty, my second favorite thing is you're blatantly taunting the authorities with the stolen NCAA baseball banner behind you. That is,
come get me.
Come get it. Come get it if you want it.
Like I haven't had my Miranda rights read.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, if the authorities thought cornering a bear was bad, come get Stitch and his banner right there. Boys, I think this is a great series. Hashtag roll humps. That's all I got to say on that.
There you go.
Fitzy, Tulane at Louisiana Tech.
Love what I saw from the Bulldogs last night against LSU. They played great the first weekend. It's a veteran team that I think is a top 25 caliber team that may well be in the top 25 this time next week, because I think they take care of business at home against Tulane, even though Tulane also off to a good start. Should be a nice matchup down there. The Love Shack.
Love the Love Shack. KR?
I've got to go with La Tech. I mean, you look at the Love Shack last night. They had 4,000 people. It was 37 degrees, drizzly. That's what you call a fan base. I just like La Tech in this series. I think at home, the usual suspects have gotten up to a hot start offensively. Taylor Young, Phil Machula, Jorge Corona. I think they're going to hit, and I think they're going to win the series.
Stitch?
Yeah, I've been on Louisiana Tech's bandwagon since being there last year and seeing them, and they hosted a regional and all that, and they had just about everybody coming back. So I had them in my preseason top 25. I had them as my highest ranked Tech team in the country. Yes, even higher than Michigan Tech. So
Utah Tech
or Utah Tech or
Trailblazers.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with Louisiana Tech. I do agree with Aaron, though. I like what we're seeing from Tulane early on so far, and I think Coach Jewett's turning things around there. But give me Tech for now.
So I agree with you guys. Very fun scene in Ruston last night. Could not get enough. There was at least 100 people in camouflage overalls. I like that very much. The coon hat, I need one. But when you average Joe zig, I zag. Give me Tulane. Give me Tulane. Got to create separation in this contest. Fitzy, West Virginia at Charlotte.
Roon's is getting desperate already. We're only 1 week into this thing, and he's already being contrarian.
First and 10. Hail Mary. Give me the Hail Mary. Give me the Philly special.
Love it. Good to see Randy Mazey's Mountaineers get off to a good start last weekend. West Virginia, after a disappointing year last year, seems like a little bit of different energy here out of the gate. But I just think Charlotte's is a very dangerous club. I think they're potentially an elite offensive club. Love the personnel there, especially the infield. And this is a big opportunity for Charlotte, to make some hay here from an RPI standpoint down the road. If they're looking to try to, contend to host a regional again, they were in that mix last year. They got to take care of business at home here this weekend, and I think they will. I'm going with the 49ers.
The Niners. KR.
I'm going to go with the Niners, too, but I'll tell you what, I did like what I saw from West Virginia last weekend. You look at Grant Hussey, the really talented freshman, had a big weekend for them. J.J. Weatherholt, I think in his first at-bat of his career, it's a home run. And so I think West Virginia certainly has my attention, but I like Charlotte at home after the big weekend they had last week.
Stitch piece.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Charlotte as well. I think Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken, had a good bit of their returnees from last year. It's kind of like Louisiana Tech, maybe not quite as many as Tech did, but I liked Charlotte. I think they were a team I was looking at as a possible top 25 early in the preseason. So I'm going to go with Charlotte as well.
Gosh, you guys are gutless. Give me the Nears. Although I will say I'm out on a limb here clearly, but to your point, KR, West Virginia's got a real freshman class. I mean, that like multiple dudes. Hussey, Weatherholt's a Pittsburgh kid, left-handed hitter, if I'm not mistaken. Sounds like they've got some real freshman arms. I'm excited about West Virginia, but it might be
they got Austin Davis, Victor Scott's back from an injury, so I mean they've got the pieces for sure.
Tevin Tucker's back from injury, so anyway, I'm give me West Virginia, but that's a good series, another good choice by Fitzy. Fitzy, Nevada at Santa Barbara. What do you got? UCSB.
Well, I last week I was the only one to take the Wolf Pack on a road series at Grand Canyon, which was one of the reasons I built this healthy lead that I have. Healthy lead, 7-3 after the first week. So I hate picking against Nevada this week, but I'm going to take the Gauchos. It feels like a team that I know you guys are high on out west. Big West, one of the Big West favorites, certainly in that mix with Irvine and Long Beach. They're at home. They're a good team at home. Although I feel like Nevada's style of play probably translates well to that park too. I think it'd be a great series, but I'm just going to take the home team here, Gauchos.
Tex?
I'll go with the Gauchos as well. Ryan Gallagher had a really nice first start, and even though the Gauchos lost one of their starting position players and their closer for the year a couple weeks ago, I still think they're a pretty good team. So I like the Gauchos.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Stitch?
Look, see, if I pick UCSB, then Runes is going to pick Nevada again. Actually, that could potentially put him at the bottom after this 2 weeks, right? Okay.
Don't corner a Delco Bear, Stitch. Don't do it.
I like Santa Barbara. I like Nevada a lot too. They were my pick to win the Mountain West. I think that 2 weeks on the road and not a ton of quality practice for Nevada. I'm going to go with UC Santa Barbara for now. If this was later in the year, I might pick differently, but right now I'm going to go with UC.
Don't ever corner a Gaucho either.
That's right. Don't even.
No matter what a Gaucho might or might not be.
Hey, boys, I'm going to take the Argentine Cowboys also, but Nevada's got a real offense. I'm a little worried about the bullpen's young. So, but Josh Zamora, fifth-year senior, I think he hit 3 home runs against Grand Canyon. One of them traveled 7,000 feet. I saw that one live. But Nevada's offense is scary. Old, experienced, 8 dudes back from the starting lineup last year. But I still would like the Argentine Cowboys. Fitzy, go ahead, Kendall.
No, I was just going to say, does it feel like Josh Zamora has been in school as long as Austin Todd?
Seriously. Not that long. No, Austin Todd is the Carlos Huerta of college baseball.
Pretty sure he has gray hair.
Yeah. Yeah, Carlos Huerta was the kicker for Miami for 3 decades, but we digress. Fitzy, the Lopes going to play the Eaters. Grand Canyon at UCI.
Yeah. Here we go. Another one where we got a team that needs a rebound. Both these teams need rebounds. They both lost their first weekend series. Grand Canyon was at home, as we just mentioned, against Nevada. Irvine coming off a series loss at Louisiana on the road. Now they get to come home. I like the way they play in their own ballpark. I think the Anteaters bounce back. I think this is I hate to be boring here, but I'm going to take the Big West team at home once again. But a fun matchup. I mean, we got I think maybe both of the conference favorites. I know you picked Grand Canyon to win the WAC Runes. I don't remember if we picked Irvine or Long Beach in the Big West, but I mean, these are regional caliber clubs tangling here early this season. But give me the Anteaters. Really like the starting pitching and just, the way that offense, I think, is built to win in that ballpark.
Yep. KR?
Yeah, I like UC Irvine as well. I think, they lost that tough series against Louisiana. Louisiana is a really good club, I think. And they played well throughout the weekend in Lafayette. So I like UC Irvine, but keep an eye on GCU. I saw Arizona last week, and Arizona looked awesome, and they made pretty easy work of the Wildcats. I think they won 19-3 down in Tucson. So the Lopes certainly, seems like they're playing well at least this week.
Senior Stitch.
Suckers bet, you guys. Anybody who says anything but UC Irvine is just plain wrong. I think Frias and Pinto are going to rebound, play a little bit better. It's a tough draw going to Lafayette and playing against Louisiana Raging Cajuns, so I'm not going to put too fine a point on them losing that series. So I'm going to go with UC Irvine. I still think they're a quality team as far as like a top 10 potential. We'll see if they get there at some point this year.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm taking Irvine, but I got to tell you about Grand Canyon. They bombed Arizona in the midweek. They bombed Nevada in the Sunday game, Nevada, and they should have won the Friday game. They really should be 3-1. They controlled the entire game. They just didn't separate, and Nevada hung around and then just kind of stole the game late. And credit to Nevada for that. But yeah, Grand Canyon's good. They got an elite sophomore class. We've mentioned Jacob Wilson, the son of Jack Wilson, the former Pirate shortstop. Kid's an absolute big leaguer. At shortstop, tremendous player. So, but going on the road against the Eaters, I think is a tall task. Give me the Eaters. Fitzy, Sam Houston at DBU.
Yeah, Bearcats coming off a big weekend series win against Big Ten favorite Nebraska. I think it was 3 out of 4, if I'm not mistaken. Making some noise right out of the gate, but now you get a tough road series against DBU, a team that was in our preseason top 25. Had a disappointing first weekend, losing that series to SEMO. I think DBU bounces back here at home. I'm going to take the Pats. Go Pats.
Go Pats. KR.
I like Dallas Baptist as well. I think when you look at the way Sam Houston State played over the weekend, they certainly had my attention. I really like their club. Keep an eye on Stephen Beard, just a talented left-handed pitcher, precision guy, just pounds his own. I think he'll move in that 3-man rotation this weekend for Jay Sirianni and company. But again, like some of these other teams, kind of a recurring theme. I just think Dallas Baptist after last weekend, they're going to have a little bit of urgency, and that's a really, really talented team. But the weather is going to be a factor. It's supposed to be 38 in Round Rock, Texas. I think it's supposed to be in like the low 30s in Dallas. So it's going to be pretty miserable, and I like the home team.
Stitch.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a great mid-major matchup. I love it, and I would hate to pick against Dallas Baptist because I always promised Coach Hefner if they ever made to the College World Series, I'd be their bat boy. But unfortunately, I can't shake at what Sam Houston did to Nebraska last week. To me, that just sticks, and I just think they're going to be a better team than SEMO going into Dallas Baptist. So I hate to do it, but give me Sirianni's bunch there. I almost called them the Tomcats. The Tomcats, give me them.
the Thomas Cats. Stitch, you have 2 rounds to think of your answer, but when KR was describing low 30 temperatures in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, I would like you, before we adjourn tonight, to answer this. What is your adult beverage of choice when outdoors in 32 degrees? So that will be we'll come back to that. I also want Dallas Baptist. I think what you guys said, right? Sam Houston that first weekend really loud, but I just think DBU is not going to just keep dropping weekend series. I don't see that happening. Fitzy, Zags at Fullerton.
Kind of a neat matchup here. I feel like everybody was sleeping on Fullerton heading into the year, probably us included. They were not good last year. Not good at all.
Not good, Bob.
Not good, Bob. But you know what? They held their own up there against Stanford. I think they showed us a little bit of something. They showed us they're frisky. That said, the Zags for me, guys. I still think the talent is at a higher level, especially on the mound. And I think they're going to go down there and win a big road series. So give me the Zags.
KR.
I hate to go against Gonzaga because I think they're a pretty solid club. But I was just really encouraged by the way Fullerton pitched last week. And obviously, if you look back at last year, that was kind of their bugaboo. I mean, they were just flat out awful on the mound. But, Cameron Petty threw really well in the opener, and they pitched pretty well in the second game too. So we'll see if they can emulate that this weekend. If they can, I think they win the series. I like to
Stitch.
Yeah, I sometimes you get a little biased when you see teams play early in the year and they kind of crap the rug. You can't help it. It just kind of happens. What I saw with Gonzaga last week, granted, it was against Oregon State, who seems to be a really, really top quality team. And I like what Coach Dietrich is doing with Cal State Fullerton. They had a really bad infield, apparently, from what a friend of mine that went to the game had a bad infield. He pulled them all off the field, gave them. I didn't read them the riot act, but kind of said, hey, look, get your stuff together, guys. And they went back out there and took infield again. I love that story. I'm going to go with Fullerton. And like KR said, you like the way they pitched, especially those first 2 games against Stanford. Probably should have won both of those games, not just one. So, yeah, that could have easily been a Fullerton series win last week.
Stitch, I'm picking you because you used the word biased with a T and crap the rug in the same paragraph. That is elite.
Beauty.
Wordsmithing right there. I saw Gonzaga last weekend, guys. They're dangerous in a 3-game series because they got pitching, but not a lot of it. That rotation of Hughes, Kempner, those are really hard throwers right there, prospect types of guys. Gonzaga's scary, but I'm like you. Fullerton really got my attention last weekend. They gave Stanford everything they wanted. So I will take the Titans at home, but the Zags I think very highly of. Fitzy, let's go VCU at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, I think VCU is frisky. That's why they're included in this competition here this week. The team to beat certainly in the A10. Runes, you wrote a great A10 preview, and I'm pretty sure you picked the Rams. Coming off not a great opening weekend though. A loss to Rider, a loss to Wake Forest. They did beat Lafayette, the Leopards. Just coming into this thing 2-2. I mean, look, I think VCU is a dangerous regional caliber team, but you can't pick them to go into Oxford and win 2 out of 3 in February. I just think that's not going to happen. Give me the home team here. We'll take the Rebels.
KR.
Rebels.
All right. Well, look, if this was football, you obviously choose Virginia Commonwealth because because Lane Kiffin is the head coach of Ole Miss. But this is baseball, and you don't cheer against
Shots fired.
You don't pull against the people from the Grove, man. I'm going to go with Ole Miss on this one.
Does VCU have football, by the way?
No, they don't. That's why I'd still pick against them against Ole Miss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You guys, I'm picking Ole Miss, but you guys picked them for all the wrong reasons. Liberty did an incredible uniform unveil this week. I mean, I'm telling you, incredible. Like, you need to get on Twitter. I retweeted it. It was unreal. And they have duplicated Ole Miss's baby blues. So Ole Miss is going to file a lawsuit for patent infringement and also put a hurting on VCU just because they're mad at Liberty. So there you have it. Give me the Rebs. Stitch, can you give us your drink of choice in 32 degrees?
Oh, yeah. It's speaking of Ole Miss, they always yell hot toddy. Drink a hot toddy, man. Get a little bit of warmed up whiskey, and that'll suit you just fine. I wish I could be at a game that was down in the mid-30s this weekend because that would be a great drink to have.
What whiskey would you go with, or it doesn't matter?
Well, I'm a big Templeton rye fan. That's the rye that's made in Iowa, just about 45 minutes from Omaha, and it was Al Capone's secret stash that he had brought into Chicago during Prohibition. So I go with Templeton Rye. I'm a walking advertisement for them.
Oh, I like it. Gentlemen, let's wrap with where we're going to be this weekend. Fitzy, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm going to start off.
Speaking of unveiling.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to start off, like I said, at Maryland and Campbell on Friday. And then we've got ECU at North Carolina on Saturday. And then we'll play it by ear on Sunday. Probably going to head to Greenville for the finale there. But, if there's a rubber game somewhere, that's what we're going to do. So it's an interesting slate this week. There's not a lot of high-profile series. I think the highest profile probably matchups are where Kendall's going to be. Kendall, where are you going to be this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be at the Carbach College Classic. Our friends at Peak Events run that show down there. You got Arkansas, Stanford, two top 5 teams going at it. My first look at Hagen Smith, I can't wait. I'm hoping my man Peyton Stovall steps up a little bit. He hit like 140 opening weekend. But you can see the Hogs, the Cardinal, and then you look at Indiana, coming off that Clemson series. We're about to find out if Clemson's for real or if Indiana just had a bad weekend. And then, of course, Louisiana coming off that series win over UC Irvine. They could find themselves they will find themselves in the top 25 if they can win 2 out of 3 and beat Arkansas and Stanford.
Love it. Stitch?
Now, Kendall, does that mean you're not going to Alabama and Texas then?
I am not. I think I'll get I think I'll get a healthy dose of the Longhorns this year.
Well, that's true. Good point. Well, I'm having an Omaha weekend since that's where I grew up. Creighton is playing 1.25 miles away from my trailer park at LMU. Omaha, the moving Mavs are playing at USC. I might do those on Friday, Saturday, but on Sunday I got to go down to see and make sure that this Long Beach thing is for real. They're playing Sacramento State, and I know, Ruins, you're always big on Sac State. Reggie Christensen does a great job there and always has a good team. So I'm going to go see them on Sunday for sure. The other two, I'll figure out which one I'm going to go to on which day.
That's a battle of 2 teams with elite hashtag games. So Long Beach State, the Dirtbags, their hashtag is SCO Bags, SKO Bags. Yep. And then the Hornets of Sacramento State, hashtag Stingers Up. I mean, come on. Thank you. Right. So I'm going to be here in Arizona. I got Oregon State at Xavier 3 times, 1 including today, and then I'll catch a bunch of ASU against BYU. So it'll be fun to see those 2 clubs. So yeah, Arizona centric for me. So Good. There you go. Boys, well done. We want this to be express version on Thursday nights, and I'm going to head down to Tempe right now. They're playing on Thursday, Friday, Saturday because of BYU. And that's it. We appreciate the questions. Sorry we didn't get to more of them. Fitzy will send you guys actually handwritten letters with all the answers to your questions via snail mail.
I will tell you
letters.
Vandy Chris had a couple of questions about Vanderbilt, who I saw last weekend. I did appear in the Door Report podcast today, talked about all these things that you're asking about. So give that a listen to get your Vandy fix on the Door Report.
Oh, look at that. Look at that cross-pollination.
Yeah, I like
media plug right there. Well done. Gentlemen, this was fun. Good job. Well done. We will enjoy your weekend. And for everybody that was tuned in, we appreciate it. And we will catch you next time. Have a great weekend, everybody.